Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brandon, and in this video I'm going to be putting my driveway in. As you can tell, I've already started, and I started this last weekend and stopped when I realized that the culvert that they want me to put in is not going to work. So I was approved for this driveway, and there is a shallow ditch, and according to Google Maps, which is how they surveyed it, instead of coming out here and taking a look at the actual ditch, they just looked up on their plot map and said, yep, there's a ditch there. He's going to need a culvert. According to my permit, I'm supposed to put a 12-inch by 24-foot corrugate metal culvert in here. The lady emailed me and said I could put a dual wall HDPE, the plastic culverts. I could put a 12-inch in here if I want to. And I have one. I have a 20-footer over on the other property, on the other side of those trees, which we're going to look at here in a minute. And I said, okay, cool. I already got one of those. It's going to save me about $500. After measuring this ditch, I realized that a 12-inch culvert, whether it's metal or corrugate, is not going to work. It's just not going to work. My ditch is too shallow. I told her that I would have to bury the metal pipe about 8 inches into the ditch. I'd have to sink it 8 inches. And then there's going to be a dirt wall on either side of my culvert. Water's just going to go in and it's going to have nowhere to come out. And I don't want a bunch of stagnant water inside my culvert where it becomes a mosquito breeding ground. And she said, and she completely understood. And she re-looked at the plot map online. She was supposed to come out here and never got around to it. She lives right around here, so I don't know what she was doing. But she goes, yep, just don't put a culvert in there. And if it does wash out, then you're going to be responsible for fixing it and putting a culvert in at that point. And I said, okay. So that's where we're at. I decided instead of putting a culvert in there, I'm going to be putting a different type of drainage in here. It's still going to be like a culvert, but it's not going to be as big of a pipe. Let's take a look at the string line. So as you guys can see, I have a string from the road to a height where it's level. And we're going to go measure how deep the ditch is so you guys can understand why I don't want to bury a 12-inch culvert in here. All right, as you guys can tell, I'm only 7.75 inch deep in this ditch from the road height to the bottom of this ditch. Down there, it does have a little bit of a grade to it, but then it kind of rises right back up at my neighbor's yard, and then it goes on yonder down the hill. So there is a little bit of a grade here, and with me only being 7.5 inches deep, there's no way I'm gonna bury a culvert. Well, first off, just to get the culvert level with the ground, I have to bury the culvert 5 inches. You know, that right there starts the problem. For me to get stabilizer over the top of it, I have to bury another 3 inches, a minimum 3 inches. So there's going to be a total of about 8 inches that I'm going to have to bury a 12-inch culvert. Granted, I could slope this ditch into the culvert, but when it got to that end, it's going to hit a wall of dirt and it's not going to be able to drain. And that's why, you know, if you guys are doing this yourself to save money, which is what I'm doing, don't be afraid to ask questions. You're not going to look stupid if you ask questions. All my question was to her was, I don't think a 12-inch culvert is going to work. I go, I have to bury the culvert 8 inches to get 3 inches of stabilizer over the top as a nice driveway base. I go, I don't want stagnant water in my pipe. I go, I can slope the pipe, but either way, it's going to hit a wall of dirt and it's not going to drain. She goes, yeah, I understand that completely. No one wants a swamp at the end of their driveway. And I was like, yeah. I go, my ditch is only 7.5 to 8 inches deep. She goes, I don't understand why you need a culvert then. I go, well, you're the one that signed the permit and told me I need a culvert. And she goes, well, let me relook at that then. And she sent me another email. She goes, yep, you need a culvert. Just recess it into the soil a couple inches and be on your way. And I go, I can't. I go, let me resend you the original email explaining why I can't do that. And so she goes, okay, fine. She goes, I'm just going to update your permit. You don't need a culvert. If it becomes a problem, then you need a culvert. And I said, okay. So now it's on me. I don't need a culvert. So what I'm going to do is have 4-inch pipe over there, and I'm just going to bury 4-inch pipe. I don't need to dig the ditch out. I don't need to do anything. I'm just going to put 4-inch pipe in there and call it good. I found online that you can buy like angled drain ends, and they kind of look like culvert ends. So I'm going to buy 2 of those, 1 for each end, and hopefully that allows some good drainage, and those grates will keep debris and animals out of it. I am going to still put a culvert in. It's just not going to be the 12-inch culvert that they want. It's going to be a 4-inch PVC culvert. Alright guys, driveway is in. So at least I got the apron done. This is 10 yards. It did not do very much. This is basically all it did. That's a quick $400 if you guys are wondering what 10 yards of stabilizer costs. But I got the main part done. I wanted to cover that culvert or that pipe. That way someone can't steal it, or they're less likely to steal it. So I'm going to pick up my cones just because I had those out there for the dump truck. That's all the dirt that I took out of this hill to make it a more gentle slope. I'm happy to get this apron done. I mean, there's some tweaks I could do to it, but when you start playing with things a little too much, you kind of make it worse. And I'm kind of at that point to where it's not perfect. And so then I mess with it, and then I kind of make it worse, and then I got more work to fix what I messed up. So I'm just going to stop. It's supposed to rain tomorrow or Monday. That'll allow this driveway to settle. And then either next weekend or the weekend after, I'm going to try to recoup some money and order another 10 yards in and start going up this hill. So yeah, I'm happy to be done. I'm happy to be doing something on the property. I still don't have electricity. My dad still doesn't have electricity. Consumers is supposed to be going to a board meeting. Our township wanted them at a board meeting because they're supposed to be going across the property, the cemetery, which is owned by the township, and they're supposed to be taking electricity across that. So the township wanted a representative there. Consumers wasn't going to send anybody. The meeting got canceled because of consumers not showing up. They're supposed to be redrawing my dad's electrical stuff, and then they're going to try to get in for the next meeting, which is in June, at the end of June. And my dad's trying to get it done because he's got a septic going in July. We're putting in a septic system over there for him. There's going to be more videos to come, for sure. There's going to be his house and my house getting built. His is going to get done before mine just because I can't afford to do anything right now. I can do this little stuff, but spending $200,000 or $300,000 right now is not doable for me. I got to build up a little bit more of a nest egg in the bank. Make sure you guys, let me know down in the comments. I want your feedback. I want you guys to be active in this. I want tips and tricks. There's going to be a lot of people that watch this that have done this stuff before. And if there's something that you know that I don't be afraid to comment. And let me know, because I am willing to learn. If you're in the Michigan area, like Southwest Michigan, if you're a contractor or anything like that, I'm willing to talk and see what it would cost to build like a stick-built house or a barn-dominium, like a real quote, not $300,000 for a shell. That's kind of ridiculous. I talked to that guy a little bit more afterwards because they were supposed to reassess that quote. Apparently permacolumns are expensive. And I don't understand why they're doing permacolumns. All I need is concrete in the ground and some metal brackets on pillars. So I don't need permacolumns. But that's what they wanted to do for me, is permacolumns. See how many times I can say permacolumns in this video. So I'm not going with that company. They're not going to do what I want. Yeah, if you're a builder in the Southwest Michigan area and you can put up a barn-dominium shell or a pole barn shell, and I'll insulate it and do all the thermal barriers and all that myself. Yeah, let me know what you guys would quote me on a 32 by 48. I want to keep it around the 1,500 square foot mark. If you're a builder and you can put up a barnuminium shelf for pretty cheap, I need your contact information. There's an email in my description on my channel. Send me an email. I don't want everybody on here that watches this to send me an email. That's not what that's for. It's not just me that's going to be talking to you. It's going to be, if you take care of me, there's going to be another house. You know, my dad's building one before me, so, and he wants to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to end this video. I can go on for hours just rambling. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and like I said, you know, I want feedback, so make sure you guys comment. I'll catch you guys on the next one.